Hi everybody, this is Tasha and I'm happy to be with you today. We are going to talk about the will of God, and thank you for those who have subscribed. If you have not, please click on the subscribe button. And when we talk about the will of God, this is a topic that really is quite interesting, because the will of God is something that we have to follow, we have to pursue, we have to find out what it is for our lives, because each and every one of us, there is a perfect will of God for you. There is something that you're supposed to do on earth. You did not come here by mistake, because He says that before you were formed in the womb, He knew you. So He knew what you're supposed to do. He knew how you're supposed to do it, what you needed, everything, all the provisions are there. But you have to be in His will for you to be able to get them. The will of God is never easy all the time, because you might just get a little idea of what it is, or maybe you're supposed to be a doctor, you're supposed to be a pastor, whatever it is that the will of God was for your life. Whatever He intended for you to be, know that it doesn't come that easy. He will always unveil it in stages. If you are supposed to be in business, He will take you to the first level, and then after that He'll take you to the next level. It's never like He shows you the whole picture at a go. So some of us give up along the way. You think like it's too hard, but most of the time there is always a provision for those who operate in the will of God. Now we have the perfect will of God and the permissive will of God. The permissive will of God is where you might find that God may be ordained that I should, assume we maybe get married to a certain person, and I am interested in another guy, and I keep on pushing like, God, please release this guy, cause this guy as in to marry me and all that. And then God finally agrees with it, and you go ahead, not really agreeing with it, but permits you to do whatever you want. So you go ahead marrying this other guy. But you find that there will be certain challenges there, because this was not the intention of God. It was not the intended will of God for you to be with this person. You were not designed particularly for him. You don't have that grace to tolerate everything about him. So that is why you find some people end up divorcing, or they end up like, there's things like roommates, because you find that if you are not in the will of God, you will struggle with that relationship, you will struggle with that marriage, it will be difficult. But if you're in the will of God, always you can go back to God and ask Him, God, this was your will, this was your plan. What am I supposed to do when things are not working? You find that there's always a blessing also attached with it, and every step there's always something else that God has availed for you. And then you find that for the will of God, the scripture says in Romans 12 verse 2, and do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove that the will of God is that which is good, acceptable, and perfect. The will of God, if you want to know it, it has to be proved. It has to be proved, and for it to be proved, that means you have to inquire from people of relevant authority, which can be either your family can be able to tell you that this is actually what God wants you to do. It might be even business, or even your pastor can be able to inform you concerning that. So you have to find out from others, apart from you hearing the Spirit of God telling you this is what you're supposed to do. Inquire from others. Do you think this is what God is saying, or it's not? You'll find that most of the time God will not speak to you alone. He will be able to also speak to another person concerning the same issue. The second part of it, for you to know the will of God, you have to ask Him and He will direct you. He says that seek and you will find. Anything you want from God, you have to seek from Him. You have to ask Him to direct you. And the most funny part with it, the Bible tells us that the ways of the Lord are set like the rising of the sun. It's like if He had purposed that you are supposed to do this thing, and you ended up not doing it, He will not change His mind about it. If He was supposed to be operating through you, He will not change His mind about it. He's going to do that particular thing. It doesn't matter who He will use. He will use anybody who will be available at that time. So for you to be at least better placed where you can be able to operate in His will, make sure that you seek from Him, make sure you know from Him, and even after He has shown you His will, make sure you do not sabotage it, because sometimes it might come with a lot of difficulty at the beginning. Ensure that you do not sabotage the will of God because He has shown you it. And it's more of like we end up chasing other things. We are chasing money, we want to get rich, we want to be billionaires and all that. You are chasing them, but the major thing behind everything that you're doing, if you're not operating in the will of God for your life, you will struggle at the end. You might have all the money but no peace, no joy. You find some people even commit suicide with all the money that they have. It's simply because they are not being fulfilled. The will of God is actually very satisfying. It makes you feel fulfilled. It makes you feel useful in the world. And it's always better off to be at a position where you know I'm operating in the will of God. It's much more comfortable and better. And the next point is you have to yield to the Spirit of God. Yielding to the Spirit of God, I mean you have to worship Him. You have to worship Him in truth and in spirit. And for you to yield, you have to let go. Stop holding on to your own strength. Stop holding on to your own ideas or your own intellectual capacities that you know that this is how it's supposed to be done. Depend on the Spirit of God. He's the one who will direct you. He will show you this is how you're supposed to do it. This is from here you are supposed to go to this level. He's the one who's supposed to direct you. You might find even you have issues with your children. You're wondering, what am I supposed to do with this child? Or how am I supposed to raise them? Which school am I supposed to take them? Or where am I supposed to live? Those are things that if you are yielded to the Spirit of God, you are able to know that I am in the right place at the right time. I am operating in the will of God and I'm operating under His leadership. Such that things will not just happen anyhow. Things will not just like you are following another direction and He's guiding you on this other direction. You will not be able to reach where He's supposed to be. When you're yielded to the Spirit of God, the first thing that happens, you find you'll be able to see clearly. You'll be able to know what He's saying. You'll be able to have your ears, eyes, spiritual eyes opened to an extent that whatever He's speaking at a certain point, you are able even to tune in and know that He's saying, don't go this direction. Or if He's telling you, maybe don't take that vehicle or don't go with this plane, because He knows why He's telling you, because you are yielded. When you're yielded to the Spirit, He is the one in control and He's the one directing you. He's the one telling you, do this, do that. And if you're not, it's not going to be easy for you to operate in His will, because at times it becomes so tough when you are operating in the will of God to an extent that you feel like giving up. And that is where, if you're operating in the Spirit of God, you have to step behind and just let the Spirit lead you. Just tell Him to lead you that I've reached this level and I feel like I don't have the strength to move forward. And if I'm going to move forward, you have to be the one on the steering wheel. You have to be the one leading me to where I'm supposed to be. The last point is you have to be obedient for you to live in His will. Engaging in things that actually make your relationship with Him to be strained. Those are things that will make Him even not to be able to talk to you clearly, or even if He was supposed to take you to another level, they will delay your movement to the next level with Him. So you have to be in obedience. You have to rely on Him. If He's telling you to be patient and wait on Him, because He will eventually lead you to the right place. And we just have to be more submissive to Him to be able to know His will. We have to know that if we are going to operate in His will, we have to be submissive. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.